Shalom, shalom, everybody. Welcome back. Another episode of the Pulse of Israel. I am with the one and only Dennis Prager. Shalom, Dennis.
Shalom uvracha.
So back in 2014, you made a really powerful video about the Gaza Middle East situation back then. And I remember my website at the time got over 1 million views for that website, and you did a shout out thanking us for helping get that video 1 million views. It seems like that issue not only has not died down, it's monster-sized into an even bigger issue, with even more Americans today confused and not understanding how big of a threat this Islamic jihad is, not only to the Jews and Israel, but also to Americans. Well, what's your message to Americans today?
Well, I've said this all of my life, even before that video. Non-Jews who don't understand that Jew hatred is hatred of all that is good, and the dismissal of anti-Semitism, aka Jew hatred, as the Jews' problem, is what enabled Hitler to gain power. Had the West understood that Jew hatred is not the Jews' problem alone, he would have been forestalled early, and 60 million lives would have been spared, and in beyond belief suffering. But people don't learn from history, and so they don't realize that Jew hatred is ultimately West hatred, Judeo-Christian hatred.
Right.
Indeed, the God of the Bible hatred.
And here we're at Turning Point USA, which is doing an unbelievable job of inspiring the youth, not just the youth, many Americans, in empowering them to deal with this growing progressivism and progressivism's alliance with Islam. And yet there are voices even within the conservative circles growing of anti-Semitism and anti-Israel sentiment. What would you be saying to those voices today that are growing within this camp?
So that's a tough question, because that there are people on the right who are anti-Semitic is a given. There are people all over the place. But the threat in America and in the West comes overwhelmingly from the left and from immigrants from Muslim countries. I mean, to deny that is to deny reality, and I don't know how to argue with people who lie. That's the two major areas.
So, Dennis, I had one last question for you. I'd be telling everyone that everything we're experiencing today, the Jewish people, the whole freedom-loving world, it's a spiritual battle. What do you have to say to that? Because I imagine you agree.
Not only do I agree, but I could prove it in rational terms. I have a saying: only secular people say men give birth. There is no wisdom in the secular world. There are religious fools and there are some wise secular people. But the secular world produces idiocy. Okay? As it says in the good book, Reshit Chochma Yirat Hashem, wisdom begins with fear of God.
Amen.
That is what I realized at Columbia when I was a graduate student in international relations in the 1970s. Why am I learning so much nonsense from such bright people? And then that phrase came to me. I had not said it since 4th grade in yeshiva. And that answered my question. No Bible, no wisdom. Period. End of issue. Name me one secular institution with wisdom. One.
I'm quiet.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you, Dennis. There you go, everybody. Dennis Prager here, Turning Point USA, Phoenix. Thanks for watching for another episode of the Pulse of Israel. Not today from the ancestral homeland of the Jewish people, but we're going to be going home soon. If you're not yet a subscriber, go to pulseofisrael.com. And if you like the politically incorrect messages that we put out there about Israel, the Jewish people, and the freedom-loving world, just click on the donate button every once in a while on pulseofisrael.com. Shalom, everyone. Thanks for watching.
Pulse of Israel, frontline videos from the Holy Land. Support our work by donating today.